Unstoppable Focus. Master Your Mind and Conquer Every Goal. Written by Ronnie Rowland. Published by Growth Literacy Lounge. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Jim Rohn. We live in a world designed to steal your attention. Every notification, email, and social media update competes for a piece of your mind. You sit down to work on something important, only to find yourself scrolling, clicking, or jumping between tasks. At the end of the day, you wonder where your time went and why you didn't accomplish what truly mattered. You're not alone. The ability to focus has become a rare skill. In an age of distraction, those who can direct their attention with intention are the ones who rise above the noise. Focus is the currency of success, and mastering it is no longer optional, it's essential. This book is not about working harder, it's about working smarter by training your mind to resist distractions and lock in on what truly moves the needle in your life. The most successful people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists, have one thing in common: they have mastered the art of sustained focus. They don't let their days be dictated by distractions. They take control of their attention and channel it into high-impact work. But let's be honest, staying focused isn't easy. Your brain has been wired to seek novelty and instant gratification. Every time you check your phone or switch tasks, you reinforce the habit of distraction. The good news? Focus is a skill, not a fixed trait. Just like a muscle, it can be trained and strengthened with the right strategies. This book is your guide to developing unstoppable focus. Through proven techniques, practical exercises, and real-world applications, you'll learn how to sharpen your attention, eliminate distractions, and create an environment that makes deep work effortless. This isn't just about productivity, it's about reclaiming your time, energy, and mental clarity so you can pursue your most important goals. Imagine waking up each day knowing exactly what to work on, free from the mental clutter that slows you down. Imagine completing tasks with precision, finishing projects faster, and feeling a sense of accomplishment instead of frustration. That's the power of focus, and by the time you finish this book, it will be your greatest advantage. Distraction is a choice. So is focus. The question is, which will you choose? Chapter 1. The Focus Crisis. We live in a world that is constantly demanding our attention. Notifications, emails, social media, and endless to-do lists fight for our focus every minute of the day. You sit down to work on something important, but before you know it, you're checking your phone, clicking a random link, or responding to a message. It's frustrating. You start the day with good intentions, but by the end you wonder where all your time went. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a full-blown crisis. The ability to focus has become a rare skill. We are drowning in distractions, and most people don't even realize how much of their mental energy is being stolen. But here's the truth: if you can control your focus, you can control your future. High achievers, top performers, and the most successful people all have one thing in common: they have mastered the art of attention. Think about the last time you were deeply focused. Maybe you were reading an incredible book, solving a problem, or creating something that mattered. Time disappeared. You were in the zone, fully immersed in the moment. That state, known as deep work, is where your best thinking happens. It's where breakthroughs are made. But for most people, those moments are rare. The problem is that we've trained our brains to crave instant gratification. Every time you check your phone, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine, a feel-good chemical that makes distractions addictive. Over time, this rewires your brain to seek out quick rewards instead of staying focused on important tasks. The more we multitask and bounce between distractions, the harder it becomes to focus for long periods. Studies show that the average person's attention span has dropped significantly over the years. In fact, research suggests that most people struggle to focus on a single task for more than a few minutes before their mind starts wandering. This constant switching between tasks, known as context switching, is one of the biggest productivity killers. Every time you shift focus, your brain has to reset, wasting precious mental energy. The good news is that focus is not something you're born with, it's a skill you can train. Just like building muscle in the gym, strengthening your ability to focus requires consistent effort and intentional practice. It starts with recognizing that your attention is one of your most valuable resources. The more you protect it, the more productive, creative, and successful you become. Imagine if you could sit down to work and stay locked in, undistracted, for hours. Imagine if you could read an entire book without feeling the urge to check your phone. Imagine if you could finish projects faster, because your brain wasn't constantly switching between tasks. That level of focus isn't just possible, it's achievable with the right strategies. This book is your guide to mastering focus. In the next chapters, we'll break down exactly how to train your mind like an athlete, eliminate distractions, and build the habits that create laser-sharp attention. You'll learn how to rewire your brain for deep work, leverage the power of dopamine to stay motivated, and set up your environment for success. But before we dive into the tactics, there's one thing you need to understand. Focus is a choice. Every moment, you are either training your brain to be distracted or training it to be focused. There is no in between. The people who master focus don't have superhuman discipline. They've designed their lives to make deep concentration the default. Right now, you have two choices. You can keep letting distractions control you, or you can take back control of your attention. If you're ready to develop an unstoppable focus, turn the page. The journey starts now. Chapter 2. The Science of Attention. Your brain is not designed for the modern world. It evolved for survival, constantly scanning for threats, opportunities, and new stimuli. Thousands of years ago, this kept you alive. Today, it's the reason you struggle to focus. Every ping, notification, and pop-up hijacks your attention, triggering the same instinct that once protected you from predators. The brain's attention system operates in two modes: focused attention and scattered attention. Focused attention is when you concentrate on a single task, blocking out distractions. Scattered attention is when your mind jumps from one thing to another, never fully engaging. Most people live in a state of scattered attention, constantly shifting between emails, social media, and unfinished tasks. This mental juggling drains energy and reduces productivity. Neuroscientists have found that focus is controlled by the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and deep thinking. The problem is that this region tires easily. Every time you switch tasks, your brain burns through glucose, the fuel it needs to function. The more you multitask, the faster your mental energy depletes, leaving you exhausted and unproductive. But there's another force at play: dopamine. This neurotransmitter drives motivation and reward. Every time you check your phone, scroll social media, or respond to a message, your brain releases a small dose of dopamine. It feels good, so you keep doing it. Over time, this creates a habit loop: distraction, dopamine, hit, repeat. Your brain becomes wired to seek instant gratification, making it harder to focus for extended periods. This is why deep work feels uncomfortable at first. Your brain is craving quick rewards, but focus requires delayed gratification. The more you resist distractions, the stronger your focus muscle becomes. Just like training in the gym, sustained attention is built through consistent effort. One of the biggest myths about focus is that it's about willpower. In reality, focus is about energy management. If you've ever struggled to concentrate after a long day, it's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain is depleted. High achievers understand this and structure their day around their brain's natural rhythms. Your ability to focus follows a pattern known as ultradian rhythms. These are 90-minute cycles where your brain moves between peak energy and fatigue. The best time for deep work is during your high-energy phases, typically in the morning or after a break. Instead of pushing through exhaustion, top performers align their work with these cycles, maximizing productivity while minimizing burnout. Distractions don't just steal time, they rewire your brain. Every time you allow yourself to be interrupted, you reinforce the habit of distraction. The key to breaking this cycle is reducing cognitive load. When your brain is overloaded with information, it struggles to focus. Simplifying your environment, setting clear priorities, and eliminating unnecessary decisions free up mental energy for what truly matters. Imagine your attention as a spotlight. The wider you spread it, the dimmer it becomes. The more you narrow it, the brighter and more powerful it gets. This is why single tasking is so effective. When you fully engage in one activity, Your brain works at its highest capacity. Multitasking, on the other hand, is a myth. Studies show that switching between tasks can reduce productivity by up to 40%. Training your brain to focus starts with intentional practice. Start by setting short, distraction-free blocks of time for deep work. Even 20 minutes of focused effort can strengthen your attention span. Over time, these blocks can be extended, allowing you to work for longer periods without losing concentration. The next step is to take control of your dopamine system. Instead of letting distractions dictate your reward cycle, you must retrain your brain to find satisfaction in deep work. This means celebrating small wins, tracking progress, and making focus feel rewarding. Attention is the foundation of success. The more you understand how your brain works, the easier it becomes to master your focus. In the next chapter, we'll explore the mindset shifts that separate focused achievers from those who remain stuck in distraction. Chapter 3. The Mindset of Focused Achievers. Success isn't just about working hard, it's about working with intention. High achievers don't have more hours in the day than anyone else. They don't rely on motivation or wait for the perfect moment to start. Instead, they have trained their minds to focus, eliminate distractions, and stay committed to their goals. The difference isn't talent or intelligence, it's mindset. One of the biggest mindset shifts is understanding that focus is a skill, not a trait. It's not something you're born with or something you magically unlock when conditions are perfect. It's a muscle that must be trained daily. The people who master focus don't have superhuman discipline, they have simply built habits that make distraction the harder choice. Most people approach focus as a battle against distractions. They think if they just try harder, they'll be able to resist temptation. But willpower is a limited resource. The more decisions you have to make, the weaker your self-control becomes. This is why focused achievers don't rely on willpower, they create systems that remove distractions before they even become an option. They set their environment up for success, ensuring that the path to deep work is the easiest one. Another key mindset shift is embracing boredom. Our modern world has conditioned us to seek constant stimulation. The moment we feel even a second of boredom, we reach for our phones, check emails, or scroll social media. But true focus requires discomfort. The best performers in any field, athletes, writers, scientists, understand that mastery comes from sitting with boredom and pushing through it. Instead of looking for distractions, they train themselves to stay present with the task at hand. A focused mind is also a decisive mind. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with focus is that they leave too many open loops. They start projects but don't finish them. They constantly switch between tasks, never making real progress. High achievers approach their work with clarity and commitment. They decide in advance what they will work on, when they will work on it, and how they will measure success. There's no debate, no hesitation, just action. The ability to focus is also deeply tied to identity. If you believe you are easily distracted, your actions will reflect that belief. If you see yourself as someone who struggles to finish what you start, you'll continue to reinforce that pattern. But when you shift your identity, when you start seeing yourself as someone who is focused, disciplined, and intentional, your actions follow. This is why high achievers don't just set goals, they shape their self-image around their desired outcomes. They don't say, "I need to focus more." They say, "I am the kind of person who values deep work." They don't think, "I should stop procrastinating." They say, "I am someone who takes immediate action." Identity drives behavior. When you start viewing yourself as someone who naturally prioritizes focus, the habits that support it become effortless. Another crucial mindset shift is adopting a long-term perspective. Most people want instant results. They give up on building focus because they don't see immediate improvement. But mastery takes time. The best in any field understand that small, consistent improvements compound over time. They trust the process, knowing that every deep work session, no matter how small, is strengthening their focus muscle. This shift from outcome-based thinking to process-based thinking is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who burn out. Instead of obsessing over immediate results, they focus on showing up, putting in the work, and letting progress take care of itself. They know that focus isn't a one-time effort, it's a lifelong commitment. The mindset of focus is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about eliminating unnecessary decisions, embracing discomfort, and reshaping your identity around the habits you want to build. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the practical steps you can take to eliminate mental clutter and create an environment that naturally supports deep focus. Chapter 4. Eliminating mental clutter. Your mind is like a workspace. If it's cluttered with unfinished tasks, scattered thoughts, and constant worries, focus becomes nearly impossible. Just as a messy desk makes it hard to work, a cluttered mind drains your energy and scatters your attention. The key to unlocking deep focus is clearing mental space so your brain can operate without unnecessary distractions. Most people carry too much cognitive load, the mental effort required to process information. Every unfinished task, unanswered email, and lingering decision takes up space in your working memory. When too many things compete for attention, your brain becomes overwhelmed, leading to stress, procrastination, and a lack of clarity. High achievers understand this and actively reduce their mental load, freeing up space for deeper thinking. One of the biggest sources of mental clutter is unmade decisions. Every time you delay a choice, whether it's a work task, a personal obligation, or even what to eat for dinner, you create an open loop in your mind. Your brain continues processing it in the background, draining mental energy. The solution is simple: decide quickly and move on. The more decisions you make in advance, the more mental space you free up for important work. Another common source of clutter is information overload. We are constantly bombarded with news, notifications, and endless streams of content. While some information is valuable, most of it is noise. Focused individuals take control of their inputs. They unsubscribe from unnecessary emails, limit social media consumption, and filter what enters their mental space. Instead of reacting to everything, they curate their environment, ensuring that only useful and relevant information gets their attention. A powerful technique for decluttering the mind is brain dumping. When your thoughts feel scattered, take 5 minutes to write down everything on your mind. It doesn't need to be structured, just get it out of your head and onto paper. Once it's written down, your brain no longer has to hold on to it, freeing up space for deeper concentration. High performers use this technique daily, treating it as a mental reset that clears distractions before important work. Another strategy is creating a capture system. Most people try to remember too much, relying on their memory to track tasks, ideas, and deadlines. But the brain is terrible at storage. It's designed for processing, not retention. Instead of keeping everything in your head, use a simple system to offload mental clutter. This could be a to-do list, a digital note-taking app, or even a physical journal. The key is consistency. Once you trust your system, your brain stops wasting energy trying to remember everything, allowing you to focus fully on the task at hand. Decluttering isn't just about reducing inputs, it's also about simplifying your priorities. Many people struggle with focus because they try to do too much at once. They overload their schedules, take on too many commitments, and spread their energy too thin. The most productive people follow a simple rule: fewer priorities, better results. Instead of trying to do everything, they focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. Another essential step is closing open loops. These are unfinished tasks, lingering conversations, and unresolved commitments that take up mental space. When something is left incomplete, your brain continues thinking about it, even if you're not actively working on it. The solution? Finish what you start. If something can be done in 5 minutes, do it immediately. If it requires more time, schedule it. The more open loops you close, the more mental clarity you gain. A cluttered mind leads to scattered focus, but a clear mind allows for deep concentration. Eliminating mental clutter is not just about reducing stress, it's about reclaiming the mental space needed for creativity, problem solving, and peak performance. When your mind is clear, focus becomes effortless. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the power of deep work and how to create an environment that supports maximum attention. Chapter 5. The Power of Deep Work. Most people spend their days in a state of shallow work, responding to emails, jumping between tasks, and reacting to notifications. They feel busy but accomplish little of real value. Deep work is the opposite. It's a state of intense focus where you engage fully in a meaningful task without distractions. This is where creativity, problem solving, and high-level thinking happen. If you want to achieve more in less time, mastering deep work is essential. Deep work is not about working longer hours, it's about working with intensity. A single hour of deep, uninterrupted focus can produce more results than an entire day of scattered effort. The reason is simple: when you focus deeply, your brain operates at its highest level. Ideas connect faster, decisions become clearer, and progress accelerates. The biggest obstacle to deep work is distraction. Every time you check your phone, respond to a message, or switch tasks, your brain must refocus. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain full concentration after an interruption. This constant switching drains mental energy, making it nearly impossible to enter a deep work state. The key to deep work is protecting your attention. High achievers treat their focus like a valuable asset. They block time for deep work, eliminate unnecessary distractions, and create an environment that supports concentration. One of the most effective strategies is time blocking, dedicating specific hours of the day to uninterrupted work. During these blocks, distractions are eliminated, and the only priority is the task at hand. Another powerful technique is the shutdown ritual. At the end of the workday, instead of leaving tasks open-ended, take 5 minutes to review what you accomplished, plan for the next day, and mentally close out work. This signals to your brain that it's time to rest, reducing mental clutter and making it easier to start fresh the next day. The environment you work in also plays a crucial role. If your surroundings are filled with distractions, deep work becomes difficult. Create a dedicated workspace free from interruptions. Use noise-canceling headphones, set your phone to Do Not Disturb, and remove anything that doesn't support your focus. Small changes in your environment can have a massive impact on your ability to concentrate. One of the biggest myths about deep work is that you need long hours to be productive. The truth is that quality matters more than quantity. Even 2 hours of focused deep work can be more valuable than an entire day of shallow effort. The best performers in any field understand this and structure their work around short, intense bursts of concentration rather than endless hours of half-hearted effort. Deep work also requires mental endurance. Just like physical training, your ability to focus strengthens with practice. If you're used to constant distractions, start with small deep work sessions, 20 to 30 minutes, and gradually increase the duration. Over time, your brain adapts, making it easier to stay focused for extended periods. To make deep work sustainable, you need recovery time. Focus is like a muscle, it grows stronger with rest. Taking breaks between deep work sessions allows your brain to recharge, preventing burnout and maintaining peak performance. The best approach is to balance focused work with short, intentional breaks, ensuring that your mind stays sharp throughout the day. Deep work is the secret weapon of top performers. It's how groundbreaking ideas are created, complex problems are solved, and massive progress is made in short periods. If you train yourself to focus deeply, you'll accomplish more in a few hours than most people do in a week. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to reprogram your brain's dopamine system to resist distractions and make focus feel effortless. Chapter 6. Reprogramming your dopamine system. Your brain is wired for rewards. Every time you check your phone, scroll social media, or receive a notification, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that makes you feel good. This creates a powerful feedback loop: distraction, dopamine, hit, repeat. Over time, this rewires your brain to crave instant gratification, making it harder to focus for long periods. To regain control of your attention, you must reprogram your dopamine system. Dopamine itself is not the enemy. It plays a crucial role in motivation, learning, and goal achievement. The problem arises when low-value distractions hijack the system, making it difficult to engage in deep, meaningful work. The solution is to shift dopamine triggers away from distractions and toward productive activities. One of the most effective ways to do this is through dopamine fasting. This doesn't mean completely eliminating dopamine, it means temporarily removing artificial stimuli that flood your brain with easy rewards. This includes social media, unnecessary notifications, mindless browsing, and instant entertainment. By reducing these distractions, you force your brain to find fulfillment in real progress, rather than cheap dopamine spikes. The transition isn't always easy. At first, you may feel restless, or even bored without constant stimulation. This is a sign that your brain has become dependent on instant gratification. But if you push through the discomfort, something powerful happens. Your brain starts finding focus rewarding again. Tasks that once felt difficult, like reading or deep work, become more engaging because your dopamine system has been recalibrated. Another way to rewire your dopamine response is through micro-rewards. Instead of relying on distractions for dopamine, use small, intentional rewards to reinforce focus. For example, after completing a deep work session, give yourself a short break, enjoy a healthy snack, or listen to your favorite song. These small wins help retrain your brain to associate focus with positive reinforcement. Gamification is another powerful tool. High achievers use habit trackers, progress charts, and streak counters to visually measure success. Seeing progress triggers dopamine, creating a sense of accomplishment that keeps you motivated. Even something as simple as crossing off tasks on a to-do list can generate a powerful reward response, reinforcing productive habits. Your environment also plays a key role in dopamine regulation. If distractions are constantly within reach, resisting them becomes a battle of willpower. Instead of relying on self-control, redesign your environment to support focus. Place your phone in another room while working, use website blockers to eliminate digital temptations, and keep your workspace clean and minimal. These small adjustments reduce the opportunity for distractions, making deep work the default. Another powerful shift is delaying gratification. Most people chase immediate rewards, but the most successful individuals train themselves to enjoy the process, not just the outcome. When you focus on the satisfaction of making progress, rather than waiting for a final result, you build sustainable motivation. The best performers don't just celebrate success, they celebrate effort. Mindfulness can also help regulate dopamine. Meditation, deep breathing, and present moment awareness reduce the brain's craving for instant rewards. By training yourself to sit with discomfort instead of escaping into distractions, you strengthen your ability to focus. Even a few minutes of mindfulness each day can have a profound impact on attention span and mental clarity. Reprogramming your dopamine system doesn't happen overnight, but small changes add up. As your brain adapts to valuing deep work over distractions, focus becomes effortless. You no longer need constant stimulation to stay engaged. Your mind learns to find fulfillment in meaningful effort. In the next chapter, we'll explore the power of saying no and how to protect your attention from external demands. Chapter 7. The Art of Saying No. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you are saying no to your goals. Focused achievers understand that their attention is their most valuable asset, and they guard it fiercely. They don't allow every request, notification, or demand to pull them away from what truly matters. The difference between those who make real progress and those who stay stuck isn't talent or intelligence. It's the ability to say no to anything that doesn't serve their highest priorities. Most people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others. They say yes out of guilt, obligation, or the desire to be liked, but every yes adds another commitment to their plate, another demand on their time, and another obstacle to deep work. Learning to say no is not about being selfish, it's about protecting your ability to do meaningful work. One of the simplest ways to say no is to delay your response. When someone asks for your time or attention, don't give an immediate answer. Instead, say, "Let me think about it and get back to you." This gives you space to evaluate whether the request aligns with your priorities. If it doesn't, you can decline without pressure. Another powerful strategy is offering alternatives. If someone asks you for something that doesn't fit your schedule, suggest a different solution. Instead of taking on an extra task, you might recommend someone else who can help. Instead of agreeing to an unnecessary meeting, you could suggest handling it through email. By providing an alternative, you protect your focus while still being helpful. Setting clear boundaries is also essential. The most productive people design their schedules in a way that limits distractions. They block out deep work time on their calendar and treat it as non-negotiable. They communicate these boundaries to others, making it clear when they are available, and when they are not. If you don't set your own boundaries, others will set them for you. Another key mindset shift is understanding that every yes has a cost. When you agree to something, you are trading your time, energy, and attention. Ask yourself, is this worth what I'm giving up? If the answer is no, then it's better to decline. Saying no to distractions means saying yes to progress, creativity, and personal growth. The ability to say no is not just about external distractions, it's also about internal ones. Your own thoughts, impulses, and urges can pull you away from deep work. The habit of constantly checking your phone, switching tasks, or seeking quick rewards is just as dangerous as external interruptions. Training yourself to say no to these urges is a key part of developing unstoppable focus. One effective technique is the 10-minute rule. When you feel the urge to check your phone or switch tasks, set a timer for 10 minutes. Tell yourself that if the urge still exists after 10 minutes, you can act on it. Most of the time, the craving will pass, and you will stay focused. This small habit strengthens your ability to resist distractions over time. Another strategy is creating default responses for common distractions. If coworkers frequently interrupt you, prepare a simple response like, "I'm in deep work mode right now. Can we talk later?" If you get too many requests for your time, have a standard reply ready, such as, "I'd love to help, but my schedule is full right now." Having these responses in place makes saying no easier and less stressful. Saying no is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. The more you protect your time and attention, the more focused and productive you become. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to build a morning routine that sets the foundation for a day of deep focus. Chapter 8. Mastering your morning routine. The way you start your day determines how the rest of it unfolds. Most people wake up, check their phones, scroll through notifications, and immediately enter reactive mode. Before they've even had a chance to think, their attention is hijacked by emails, messages, and social media. High achievers do the opposite. They take control of their mornings and use them to set the tone for deep focus and productivity. A strong morning routine isn't about packing in as many activities as possible. It's about creating mental clarity, energy, and momentum for the day ahead. The best routines are simple, intentional, and designed to eliminate unnecessary decision-making. The fewer choices you have to make in the morning, the more mental energy you preserve for deep work. One of the most powerful habits to incorporate into your morning is deliberate silence. Instead of immediately bombarding your brain with information, start the day with a few moments of stillness. This could be through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting in silence while drinking your coffee. Giving your mind space to wake up gradually allows you to begin the day with intention rather than urgency. Another essential morning habit is movement. Exercise isn't just for physical health, it's one of the best ways to prime your brain for focus. Even a short walk, stretching, or a few minutes of bodyweight exercises can boost circulation, increase dopamine levels, and sharpen your mental clarity. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. One of the worst habits for focus is starting the day with your phone. Checking emails, messages, or social media first thing in the morning puts your brain in reactive mode, making it harder to focus later. The best performers delay screen time and use the first hour of the day for intentional activities. If you resist the urge to check your phone in the morning, you'll notice an immediate improvement in your ability to focus throughout the day. Another powerful practice is journaling or planning your day. Writing down your top priorities ensures that you begin with clarity, rather than confusion. High achievers don't leave their focus to chance. They decide in advance what they will work on and block out time for deep work. A simple strategy is the rule of 3. Identifying the 3 most important tasks to complete that day. Nutrition also plays a key role in morning focus. Eating a high-protein, low-sugar breakfast helps stabilize blood sugar and prevent energy crashes later. Hydration is equally important. Dehydration, even mild, reduces cognitive function and makes it harder to concentrate. Drinking water first thing in the morning helps combat fatigue and jumpstarts your brain. Another focus-enhancing habit is exposure to natural light. Sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, improving alertness and mood. Spending even 5 minutes outside in the morning signals to your brain that it's time to wake up, leading to better energy levels and sharper focus. If natural light isn't an option, bright artificial light can have similar benefits. High achievers also structure their mornings to avoid decision fatigue. They simplify routines by preparing the night before, laying out clothes, pre-planning meals, or setting up their workspace. The fewer small decisions they have to make in the morning, the more focus they can serve for important work. The real power of a morning routine is not in the specific activities, but in consistency. The best routine is the one you stick to. Even a simple, 5-minute routine that sets a positive tone is better than an elaborate one that feels overwhelming. What matters most is that your morning sets the stage for focused, productive work. The first hour of your day is the foundation for everything that follows. By designing your mornings with intention, you take control of your focus before distractions have a chance to steal it. In the next chapter, we'll explore the science of single tasking and why doing less actually makes you more productive. Chapter 9. Single tasking vs. multitasking. Most people believe that multitasking makes them more productive. They switch between emails, work projects, and messages, thinking they are getting more done. In reality, multitasking is an illusion. Studies show that constantly switching between tasks reduces efficiency, increases mistakes, and drains mental energy. The most successful people understand that true productivity comes from single tasking, focusing on one thing at a time with full attention. The human brain is not designed to multitask. What feels like multitasking is actually task switching, rapidly shifting between different activities. Each time you switch, your brain must refocus, which wastes time and energy. Research shows that this constant shifting can reduce productivity by up to 40%. Instead of getting more done, multitaskers take longer to complete tasks and experience higher levels of stress. Single tasking is the opposite. It means fully immersing yourself in one task at a time. When you focus deeply, you enter a state of flow where work becomes effortless, creativity increases, and results improve. Instead of splitting attention across multiple things, single tasking allows you to complete work faster and at a higher quality. One of the biggest challenges in single tasking is breaking the habit of constant switching. Most people have trained their brains to seek distractions. The moment work feels difficult, they reach for their phone, check email, or open another tab. To master single tasking, you must retrain your brain to stay with one task until completion. One strategy is the time blocking method. Instead of reacting to tasks throughout the day, schedule dedicated blocks of time for focused work. Set a timer for 30 to 90 minutes, choose one task, and commit to working on it without interruption. Knowing that you have a set time to focus makes it easier to resist distractions. Another powerful technique is batching similar tasks. Instead of switching between unrelated activities, group similar ones together. For example, set aside one time block for emails, another for creative work, and another for meetings. This reduces the mental energy wasted on switching and allows you to stay in the right mindset for each type of work. Eliminating external distractions is also crucial. A cluttered workspace, noisy environment, or constant notifications make single tasking difficult. Create a distraction-free zone by turning off unnecessary notifications, using noise-canceling headphones, and keeping only the essentials in your workspace. The fewer interruptions you have, the easier it is to focus. Internal distractions are just as dangerous. Many people struggle to single task because their minds wander. They start thinking about other tasks, worries, or upcoming deadlines. A simple way to manage this is the brain dump method, keeping a notepad nearby to write down any distracting thoughts. Once it's written down, your brain can let it go, making it easier to return to the task at hand. Another key to mastering single tasking is setting clear goals before starting work. If you sit down without a clear plan, it's easy to get distracted. Before beginning a task, define exactly what needs to be accomplished. This creates a sense of purpose and makes it easier to stay engaged. One of the most overlooked benefits of single tasking is mental energy conservation. Constant switching exhausts the brain, leading to decision fatigue and burnout. By focusing on one task at a time, you conserve energy and maintain peak performance for longer. This is why the best performers in any field, athletes, artists, and executives, structure their time around deep focus rather than scattered effort. Mastering single tasking takes practice, but the rewards are worth it. Work becomes more efficient, creativity increases, and stress decreases. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by endless tasks, you gain control over your time and attention. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to design an environment that naturally supports deep focus and minimizes distractions. Chapter 10. Building a focus-friendly environment. Your environment shapes your ability to focus more than you realize. Most people struggle with concentration not because they lack discipline, but because they are constantly surrounded by distractions. A cluttered workspace, noisy surroundings, and easy access to digital interruptions make deep work nearly impossible. High achievers understand that focus isn't just about willpower, it's about designing an environment that makes concentration the default. One of the most important steps in creating a focus-friendly environment is decluttering your workspace. A messy desk creates mental chaos. Every extra piece of paper, random object, or open tab in your browser competes for your attention. The solution is simple: remove everything that isn't essential. Keep only the tools you need, and store everything else out of sight. A clean, organized space signals to your brain that it's time to focus. Digital clutter is just as harmful. Many people keep dozens of tabs open, fill their desktops with random files, and let notifications interrupt them all day. To reduce digital noise, close unnecessary tabs, organize files into folders, and set up a system where everything has a place. If you don't need it immediately, remove it from sight. The fewer distractions in your environment, the easier it is to concentrate. Noise is another major factor that affects focus. Some people work best in silence, while others perform better with background noise. If you need quiet, invest in noise-canceling headphones or find a quiet place to work. If you prefer some sound, use instrumental music, white noise, or nature sounds to create a background that enhances concentration without being distracting. The goal is to control your auditory environment so it supports, rather than disrupts, your focus. Lighting also plays a key role. Natural light boosts energy and improves cognitive function, making it easier to stay engaged. If possible, position your workspace near a window. If natural light isn't available, use bright, cool-tone lighting during work sessions, as it mimics daylight and helps maintain alertness. In the evening, switch to warmer lighting to signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. Temperature can also impact focus. Studies show that people work best in temperatures between 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. If a room is too hot or too cold, cognitive function declines, making it harder to concentrate. Find a comfortable temperature that allows you to stay focused without feeling sluggish or distracted. Another overlooked factor is workspace ergonomics. If you're uncomfortable, your focus will suffer. A good chair, proper desk height, and a screen positioned at eye level can prevent physical strain and allow you to work for longer periods without discomfort. Small adjustments, like using a keyboard wrist rest or adjusting your posture, can make a significant difference in your ability to stay engaged. Your phone is one of the biggest threats to deep focus. The easiest solution? Remove it from your workspace. Studies show that even having your phone nearby, even if it's face down, reduces cognitive performance because part of your brain is still thinking about it. If you must have it close, use Do Not Disturb mode or distraction blocking apps to limit interruptions. Visual cues can also help reinforce focus. Keeping a checklist, calendar, or progress tracker in sight can serve as a constant reminder of your goals. Seeing your progress reinforces motivation and makes it easier to stay on track. Your environment should work for you, not against you, by making small adjustments to your physical and digital space. You create an atmosphere where focus happens naturally. Instead of relying on willpower to resist distractions, you eliminate them before they can interfere. In the next chapter, we'll explore daily exercises to strengthen your focus muscle and improve concentration over time. Chapter 11. Focus Challenges Exercises. Focus is not something you either have or don't have. It's a skill that can be trained. Just like building physical strength, developing mental endurance requires consistent practice. The more you challenge your ability to focus, the stronger it becomes. High achievers don't rely on willpower alone, they engage in deliberate exercises that condition their minds for deep concentration. One of the simplest ways to train focus is reading without distraction. Most people struggle to read for extended periods without their minds wandering. Start by setting a timer for 10 minutes and reading a book with full concentration. If your mind drifts, bring it back to the page. Over time, gradually extend the duration. This exercise strengthens cognitive endurance and improves attention span. Another powerful technique is single-tasking drills. Pick one task and commit to working on it without switching for a set period. The goal is to resist the urge to check your phone, open new tabs, or shift to another activity. Begin with 20-minute focus sessions and gradually increase to an hour or more. The longer you sustain deep work, the easier it becomes. Meditation is one of the best exercises for strengthening focus. Even 5 minutes of mindful breathing each day can improve attention control. Sit in a quiet space, focus on your breath, and gently bring your attention back whenever your mind drifts. This trains your brain to stay present and resist distractions. Over time, meditation enhances self-awareness, allowing you to recognize and redirect wandering thoughts during work. A more active form of focus training is visual concentration exercises. One method is the candle flame exercise. Light a candle, stare at the flame, and focus on it for as long as possible without looking away. If your mind wanders, bring it back. This simple practice sharpens visual attention and strengthens the ability to maintain focus on a single object for extended periods. The Pomodoro technique is another effective way to build focus. Work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, then repeat. After 4 cycles, take a longer break. This method trains your brain to focus in short bursts while preventing burnout. Over time, you can increase the work duration and reduce the number of breaks as your endurance improves. For those who struggle with digital distractions, dopamine detox challenges can be game changers. Set aside a few hours, or even an entire day, where you eliminate all unnecessary digital stimuli. No social media, no notifications, no mindless scrolling. Instead, engage in deep work, reading, or creative activities. This resets your brain's reward system, making focused tasks feel more satisfying. A lesser-known but powerful exercise is auditory focus training. Find a piece of instrumental music and listen to it with full attention. Try to identify each instrument and follow its melody. This enhances auditory processing skills and strengthens the ability to concentrate despite background noise. Journaling is another underrated tool for focus training. Each morning, write down your top priorities for the day. At the end of the day, reflect on how well you stayed focused. This simple habit increases self-awareness and helps identify patterns of distraction, allowing you to make adjustments over time. One of the best ways to build focus is through progressive overload. Gradually increasing the difficulty of focus-related tasks. Start with short deep work sessions, then extend them. Begin with simple tasks, then move to more complex ones. Just like lifting heavier weights in the gym, increasing focus challenges over time strengthens mental endurance. Training focus requires patience, but the benefits are undeniable. By consistently practicing these exercises, you rewire your brain for deep concentration. Instead of struggling to stay engaged, focus becomes effortless. In the final chapter, we'll explore how to sustain focus for life and turn it into a superpower that drives lasting success. Take care and be well.